In this video, I want to talk about 5 different aspects of the emotional abandonment wound. It's the emotional abandonment that you experienced from having a narcissistic mother, because there's no way that she chose to or even could be there for you emotionally. Let me give you the tools to really see how that possibly affected you, so that you can, once identified, you can start to look into how can you, what can you do about this. And also, perhaps you are aware of it. In that case, just the validation, just the knowing that you're seen, that your experience is real, that it's named, it's talked about, and it's is really, really healing for many of us. I just want to apologize if there's some noise in the background. There are some big magpies coming right to the window to eat some bird seeds. So I'm going to try not to get distracted, but I do love having some bird feeder there, just to watch these amazing creatures that I can remember very much of, being left to my own devices a lot, being put into situations where I was just expected. There was no toys there was no care for me, there was no thought about me and my situation, just being put in situations where I just had to be a good girl and just put up with it, which now today I wouldn't. I just think that it is so wrong, but I didn't know that how wrong it was at that time. I knew it somehow inside, emotionally, that it was, but you don't have the words, you don't have, you just haven't. In my experience, what I had was just a deep heartache inside, a deep despair inside, and which caused a lot of shame upon myself to come, because as a child we do really we have that developmental stage where we do feel like, and also defenses of like putting out on ourselves in order to survive in the environment where we're actually in. So let's get to the first of these facets, consequences of this emotional abandonment trauma. So, well, if your needs have been completely neglected and not seen when you were a child, it is very common for a lot of people to just not show their needs. So like if you're in a friend's relationship, if you've got a partner, it's very common that you don't, it's so drilled into us that our needs don't matter, that we don't even know that we're doing it. We're blind to it. It's something that we've been modeled into. So a lot of us are unaware that we are not actually communicating and being aware of our needs. So we might be just self-neglectful as well, self-invalidating. I've got a quiz for that, which can help you see if that is you. I'll link to that in the description, because that's a great tool to like gain awareness and start breaking patterns like this. But it's also common to not to even notice, because it's not on our radar. If someone is actually there for us, it's really hard to see it because we don't have the experience of it. It's not in our world, so how would we even notice it? So other people other people who want as well can get really give up on us, because we're not even available to actually see it. We expect so badly from other people that that they give up, that they are hurt. They are hurt by our not seeing that they actually wanted what was good for us. But on the other side, perhaps you also pick partners just like your mother, who are like her, who have this is the relationship mold that you have been molded into. So where you don't get your own needs met, you are just there for someone else. The other person just takes and doesn't treat you well and is abusive, and so on. This is the pattern that you have developed. It's not like patterns just disappear. It's usually something needs to happen in order to step out of such a pattern. There needs to be awareness, and you have to have knowing and understanding of what's going on underneath the surface that you're unaware of. So this does happen. People do find a partner, and then they find a partner like their mother, and then they leave the relationship, and then they find another partner which seems good, and then it ends up being someone again the same. So this is the cycle. I've been there too. I started out as well in this mold. There are reasons for this, and if you then truly want to have that good relationship, then you really need to dig into that. And if you're interested in that, then do let me know in the comments, because I'm considering actually creating a webinar around this topic. If that's of interest to you and you have questions around this, then do either email me. My email is on the description of this video with your questions, so that I can include those into the webinar. The second thing is that facets of the emotional abandonment trauma is that lots of us become very self-sufficient because we had to manage on our own, and in becoming self-sufficient we built up walls of not being so hurt, of just believing that there is nobody there for us, and it doesn't. We've given up, we've resigned, we're just trying to protect ourselves. We're building up walls against expecting anything from other people, and there hasn't been care, there hasn't been protection, there hasn't been emotional availability. So why would we even so we've learned to become self-sufficient and turn away from these things and not to expect them. So a lot of people who come into therapy and so on are hard to reach emotionally, understandably so. Of course it's understandable, but it doesn't help when we're trying to, this is what we're working on in order to try to change the reality at the moment, at the same time as really then sensing what people we are involving ourselves with truthfully, so that we don't end up in a situation where we are re-traumatized by someone following the same mold as the parent, narcissistic parent. And then the third aspect is that it can make it hard to give yourself and others real empathy. A lot of people, for instance, if they have turned into an avoidant attachment strategy where they've turned down their needs, signals of needs, feelings, painful memories and so on, then they won't be getting the signals that they would have got before they turned this down. So this means that you might not be aware of how you feel and what the pain that you're actually feeling and the loneliness that you're actually feeling as an effect of this. You might not even know how to give proper warmth, emotional attunement to your own needs and feelings. You might not know how to do it because you simply haven't experienced it. And these are the things that cause your life to be of good quality, of happiness and of joy and of true connection and so on. So these are the things that can really cause suffering, depression, and also it's really hard to create a good relationship to oneself, to other people in general, to a partner and to your children too. So what do people need then in this situation? A lot of the time I'm actually warming somebody up emotionally slowly over time. I'm actually showing them a different way of being with themselves. This is not something that's easy to really speak about in a few words on a video like this. This is something that is experienced inside of a container of a process over some time of being met with the opposite, of being met with somebody who knows from the inside what you can achieve and what you can feel. So that is why I am also working with programs of healing and programs of communities and so on, because that is the space where you can actually hold people emotionally and also give corrective experiences. And this is not something that's only a logic thing. This is an experiential thing. So if you're interested in that, then do come into my email community. Then you will learn about when these things are available. Now, point number 4 is I also meet a lot of invisible people, and like people who in so many ways of like people who don't give much mimic. So you don't really, it's like a blank face, doesn't move much, doesn't show much. It's a way of hiding. It's a way of hiding pain. It's a way of perhaps if you reacted and people saw your reactions, they would do even worse things. So it made sense to try to hide one's feelings. Perhaps they were ridiculed. Perhaps, So invisible, and also like people who, if you talk to them about their situation, somehow they begin talking about other people instead of being able to stand by their own experience. So this is also someone who becomes invisible when you are trying to be in relationship with them. It's a little bit hard to explain it. It's more of an experience thing, but like you might feel invisible because nobody is actually meeting your needs. Nobody's actually considering you. Nobody's actually, but it's got to do with it. It originated in that trauma, but now it has to be made aware of how you invite to this yourself today, and also how other people don't meet your needs. So there is some work to do that, which is also something that one can do in a healing journey with me, because I've helped a lot of people. I've helped a lot of people come out of all of these things, to really see themselves, to really feel good, to express more in relationship, to get more in relationships with others, that this becomes more natural, that feeling in a much better place emotionally. And the 5th aspect is that one can also develop into a person who becomes really, so like the one side is becoming invisible or building up walls and being self-sufficient, but the other side is some of us become more helpless and needy in signaling needs to other people. And because some of us had the narcissistic mother, who there's different ways of being of this parent, and it has to do with maybe not so much the outer observational thing, but more the experience of the child in that relationship. If the child does experience that, sometimes I can signal, and my mother will actually, even if it's just crumbs, that might be enough to actually for the child to turn up their signals and emotional needs of, I need something, and I'm going to signal this, and I'm helpless, and so that's a strategy to try to squeeze out more from the mother, which probably doesn't work very well. And also, like, you get them someone who feels a lot, someone who needs a lot, someone who's helpless to help themselves, someone, and we know adults who are like this, but this is where it originated, or could have originated. And of course, nobody can give to you and fill that need because it belongs to a trauma that you had in your first relationship with your mother. So you really need to heal that trauma so that you're not so needy, because being so needy is going to be completely exhausting for other people in your life today, and like you end up pushing them away. Perhaps you've experienced this sometimes. Perhaps you lose yourself, you get really you aren't able to be how you want to be in relationships, and you end up being jealous and very insecure and so on, and reactive and fearful. So these things can be healed by gaining awareness of their patterns, by understanding where it's coming from, seeing how normal this is, and by having a process of actually knowing that you're working on this and taking steps towards more more healing and health, and having support so that you don't just react, and instead like actually gain some input on your situation, so that you're also acting from that more sort of analytical adult perspective, and not just a child like acting out the whole time. So I hope that this has been helpful, and if you struggle with this, I just want to send some love to you, because it's my trauma too. I've had my own struggles with this, and yeah. So grab my self-invalidation quiz if this speaks to you. Then you get to know about, you come into my world, you get to know about ways that I can be of help to you later on. So all the best to you, and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.